The Battle of Buxar was fought on October 22, 1764, between the forces of the British East India Company and the combined armies of the Nawab of Bengal, the Nawab of Awadh, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. It took place in the town of Buxar, in present-day Bihar, India. The battle marked a decisive turning point in the history of India, as it paved the way for British dominance over the subcontinent. Scene 1. The setting. The battle took place on the banks of the Ganges River, near the town of Buxar. The British forces were led by Hector Munro, while the combined armies of the Indian rulers were led by Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Bengal. Scene 2. The build-up. The British East India Company had been expanding its influence in India for decades, gradually taking over territories and consolidating its power. The Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, had been a loyal ally of the British, but he became increasingly dissatisfied with their demands for more revenue and their interference in his affairs. He allied with the Nawab of Awadh and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II to challenge British power. Scene 3. The battle. The battle began with a fierce artillery exchange between the two sides. The British forces had superior firepower and were able to inflict heavy casualties on the Indian armies. The Indian soldiers fought valiantly, but they were no match for the disciplined and well-trained British troops. Scene 4. The aftermath. The battle lasted only a few hours, and the Indian armies suffered a crushing defeat. Mir Qasim fled the battlefield and eventually surrendered to the British. The Nawab of Awadh was also forced to accept British terms. The Mughal emperor, who had been a figurehead for many years, became a virtual prisoner of the British and was forced to grant them a firman, or royal decree, giving them control over Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Conclusion. The Battle of Buxar was a turning point in Indian history. It marked the beginning of British dominance over the subcontinent, and it paved the way for the establishment of the British Raj. The battle also highlighted the weaknesses of the Indian rulers, who were unable to unite against a common enemy. The legacy of the battle continues to be felt in India today, as it is seen as a symbol of the country's subjugation under foreign rule.